All right, this video is about the transformation and laying to rest of Big Jook. I'd first like to begin by saying my condolences to the family and friends of Big Jook and young Dolph both. Two warriors of the jungle, two soldiers of the war of trying to survive in North America. And right now I think we deserve a moment of silence for both brothers, because this is a touching time. All right, let's pick this thing up, man. Let's pick this thing up. All right. All right, this video is about the laying to rest of Big Jook. They had his funeral yesterday. I had a chance to sit back and watch it. I'm going to show y'all, a video from it, and I'm going to let you know the insight of what goes through our mind when we familiar to situations like this, because many of us been through it, and it's sad to say we're going to continue to go through it because it's just the way of life, because men have to learn to control their emotions. I have to learn to control my emotions. We have to learn to control our emotions and use our head when we move forward. All right? Now, this is the funeral with everyone driving in just so that we could have this moment together and y'all could understand. And I'm going to explain a couple of different rides that I've been through dealing with the same circumstances that they're going through, so you understand. Now, this is a day that we never think about, but we dread at the same time, but we don't even think about that dread because no one knows when we're going to transform except the man above. So I just want to say this, man. We have to think our actions through. We have to think our actions through, because behind every action, there's a reaction. Behind every action, there's a reaction. I'm taking y'all to school today. Please sit back and listen, the youngins and the elders. Please, this is for all of us. This is for me. I'm going to look back at this video and I'm going to get a better understanding of me in life, as I hope you will get a better understanding of you in life from listening to this. Never in their wildest dreams did the alleged killers of young Dolph think that it would spiral out of control into this. That's because we as men, we don't think about the reactions to our actions until after we acted and the reaction has transformed and manifested itself and played itself out in a domino effect. It's just that when we're in the jungle, the domino effect is between freedom and death. Between freedom and death. That's the manifestation of our actions when we're in the jungle. See, there's no gray line. There's no gray line when you're on the street. It's the rules, and it's those that break the rules. And then this is what happens in the middle. I broke the rules and sold drugs and poisoned my community, which I apologize for. And that's why I'm doing these videos, to try to get my blessings back the best I can from God, to see that, I have changed. I got on my knees when I was in prison for 26 years, from 1993 to 2020. And I prayed to God that if he gave me another chance to be out there with my children and my family and my friends, that I would do something to better my community and my people. And that's what I'm trying to do with this YouTube. Of course, we get the rat bastards and flip-flop wearing public trolls that try and blur the message and take us away from the message. But just remember, we have to think our actions through, because behind every action, there's a reaction. We must think before we move. The wrong move could cost us our life or our freedom. We have to think before we move. The wrong move could cost us our life or start a never-ending war, because you don't know how the next person is going to react to your move or to your action. But you better believe there's going to be a reaction to every action, whether it's positive or negative. So pay attention to what I'm saying. Life is like a game of chess. We have to think as many moves ahead of our opponent as possible. As many moves ahead of our opponents as possible is how we must think, you know? Because if you just make a move and you say, okay, well, he's going to make a move after that, you know, that's where that's going to go. But you don't know anything about that. So that's why we have to think, man. In other words, when we're playing chess, if I move my knight here, I expect him to move his bishop here, or his rook over here, or his pawn over here. And then when he do that, I'm going to go there. And then, you know, he's going to move, you know, probably, you know, his bishop again, you know. And we have to think as many moves ahead. So before we go out and say, let me start a fight or a beef or an argument, you know, with this person on the train, with this person at the bus stop, with this person at the job, think of the reaction to that action. See, me, I'm a type of person that I stay in my lane. I stay in my lane, and I know that my actions and my emotions, you know, is intertwined. So my action is going to dictate my emotion, because however they respond to my, you know, action is how I'm going to respond on the defensive level. And I'm a strong believer that if it's not worth killing for, it's not worth fighting for. Period. So if somebody cut you in the line, somebody take a parking spot from you before you go in it, you think, would I kill this dude for this? And of course the answer is no. So you're going to be like, I'm going to let that go, you know? Don't get mad, jump out the car, that was my spot, this and that, because you don't know how they're going to react to your action. You understand? And then you don't know how you're going to react to your, you know, reaction to their action. Pay attention. We're talking about action and reaction today. You understand? So if somebody cuts me off and I get mad and I just jump out the car, why you cut me off? You know? And then now they pull out a gun and blow my face off. End of story. You know? But I went out there just to argue. You know? But they came out today to blow somebody's face off. And I done walked right into that. So that's why we have to think before we move. Yo, Gotti, I feel your pain, my brother, because I lost my brother Khalif at the same time. I feel your pain. And I feel the pain of young Dolph and his soldiers, family, and friends as well. Because no one expected this to happen. No one expected or wanted this to happen. Neither party wanted this to happen. But this is just a domino effect to an action. And to be honest, we don't even know who killed young Dolph. There's YouTube people saying this happened, that happened, and all these conspiracy theories, but I don't get into none of that. You know, I stay away from that, and I'm just trying to talk to the people so that they understand that, man, there's a reaction to your action. So just keep that in mind. But you have to also keep in mind that you must always be on point and know that everyone is a potential enemy. That's the way that plays out. Everyone is a potential enemy. Can't trust anyone. And it's not towards anyone personal. It's not towards my son that I couldn't trust him to sit behind me, you know, when he was 7 or 8 years old, because my twisted mentality from the jungle that I ran in and how I know to survive. No, don't let no one get behind you. No one, that means no one, including your children, your mother. Now, I know y'all don't want to have to go through life living like this, but these are the demons that I live with. But that's why I'm still here. And I know they say, oh, they crazy. How could he say he don't trust his son? He don't trust his own mother? No, I could never trust them. I would love them to death. And they could always trust me. But I don't know when somebody's going to get to them and it's going to be, them or me situation, and they choose me, meaning someone come to rob the house and got, your mother at gunpoint, and tell your mother or your son, 7, tell him it's me, daddy. I'm at the door, open up. And when they do that, there's a magnum in your face, and now your face is laid all over the floors. That's how vicious this get. I mean, somebody got to tell y'all, man, so y'all fully understand. Not only the world is watching what's playing out in Memphis, the industry is watching as well. The industry is watching because what they're thinking is, these dudes make us a lot of money. But we don't want that type of behavior in our backyard or front yard. And that's where their greed come in. But they make us a lot of money. So they have to think of their actions to deal with these young rappers that's bout it, because that's the way they had to live. And there need to be somebody, and the industry needs to put somebody or something in place that when they sign an artist, they get somebody like Unique Mecca Audio to talk to these new up-and-coming artists that you're entering into a different tax bracket. So you have to think. And you're also entering into a different level of now you're the breadwinner for your family. So you have to think that your actions is going to affect your family. Because if you go out there and get killed, now your family don't eat. I'm putting you in the driver's seat to eat. And then you get the money, and then you still want to run the street. You ran the streets to get the money. You get the money, you get out the street. That's the way the game is played. I sold all those kilos with one intention in mind, was to get out the game. Of course, the addiction to the limelight, the glitz, the glamour, the women, the jewels kept me grounded and stuck on that path of hustling when I had way more than enough to get out. Just like these brothers had enough to get out. They could have moved their whole family away from, Memphis into a safe neighborhood. But sometimes it's hard to leave the nest of what we know, because those that we consider our family, friends, and comrades are still there. And you could go back for a split second and lose it all. That easy, man. This is life. I'm just trying to give it to you like it is. So you young rappers, think before you make a move. Because your action, you don't know what the reaction is going to be from the next person. And you got to remember, the next person have a lot of hatred, jealousy, and malice in this. Just keep that in mind so you fully understand what I'm saying. There's nothing nice about this, man. Life is hard, but we need to be there for each other so that we know what time it is. If we're not going to be there to help each other, then that means we in the way, man, because we have to take each other with us as we go up, Could you believe that they had snipers at a funeral? They had snipers at a funeral. They had them on the rooftop. They had security guards with AK-47s. The whole police force for the town was over there in East Memphis. This is how serious this is. Then there was a man, I think they call him the cussing preacher or something like that. No disrespect to him, because, we're all from different generations and different, generational backgrounds and cultural backgrounds. But he said a lot of things that I don't agree with. So on the strength of that, I'm going to make a video later on and let y'all see this video that this man made. And, so we could speak on that, because I think it needs to be spoken about, just so that you fully understand. I just want y'all to know that we all here together, man. Like I said, they had snipers, man. They had snipers. snipers, metal detectors, armed security guards, AK-47s, undercover officers, FBI agents, helicopters, no cell phones allowed for a funeral when that's supposed to be a peaceful time of transformation to the next life. Instead, the ones that's trying to pay their respects to the one that's leaving have to come amongst this type of war zone because they turned the funeral into a war zone with all these helicopters and snipers and police cars. And then I heard Joe Gotti had 30 to 40 armed security guards. But I respect that brother because he didn't let nothing stop him from putting his brother, to rest in peace. My brother is buried in a federal graveyard up in Seattle, Washington. I've been battling with the government to get my brother's body back, I mean, could you imagine what my demons are like? And for those of y'all just coming that's new to this and y'all that done heard it, y'all already, respect that. I bring everything in, to make a point. But I found out my brother was dead when they brought me downstairs, handcuffed and shackled me to a cold metal table in Virginia Beach County Jail. My feet shackled to the floor like a runaway slave. My wrists shackled to the table like a runaway slave. And I wasn't even, come on, man. Listen to this, man. Listen. They laid out these big glossy 8x10 pictures, man. I'm talking about, I've never seen such gloss before in a picture. And I got over 20,000 pictures that I developed from Club 2000, Mecca Audio, and traveling up and down the East Coast and around the world. And I've never seen gloss like that. The first time I seen that type of gloss, it had my brother's brains blown out on the floor. Handcuffed, man. You can imagine what that does to me? Not did, that still do to me? So I could understand what Gotti has to carry with him now for the rest of his life, man. And then for him to sit there and hear all these different conspiracy theorists, talking about, he knocked off his brother, they was this, him and his brother that, they was beefing. How you gonna blame a man for his brother's murder while he's going through the grieving of his brother's murder? What kind of sick people do this? And I know the rat bastards and trolls, they're gonna try and defend themselves instead of just asking yourself, is that human? Is that human? The man lost his brother that he was raised with, his big brother that he looked up to as a father, that he rapped about and made millions about and brought his brother in to eat with him and brought his comrades in to eat with him. Now they got it where he feel like he can't even trust his comrades. And the conspiracy theories keep going. Oh, he gotta watch this one. He gotta watch that one. It was somebody in his camp. It was this, it was that. Man, just shut the F up, man, and let the man grieve. And let time heal the wounds. Don't continue to pour salt in the wounds just to get a YouTube view. I don't really get into this, with Big Jook because I don't want anyone to take it out of context. That's why I always say my condolences to the family and friends of both Big Jook and Young Dolph. To both. Because they're still our brothers. They're still our brothers. They may be in heaven right now looking down, praying that y'all get it right together down here, man, so that y'all could take Memphis to the next level. A lot of talent come out of Memphis. A lot of talent. I heard that, and correct me if I'm wrong, Pooh Shiesty, he's from Memphis. I heard that boy music, and, they label it as, that murder shit. You know what I mean? And I love it. I'm not gonna lie, I love it. I lived it, so I understand it, and it resonates with me. But that don't mean we have to act it out and continue to live it out. God knows what's best for all of us. God willing, while Pooh Shiesty is out there in Victorville, where I got parole from. So I know what the soils of Victorville USP could do to a man that's lost. Because I was lost. But just being on that soil and being around all the other walking dead inmates, my comrades, my enemies, and everyone, we learn to live together even though we don't like each other. Even though we don't agree with each other. Because we could agree to disagree. Not disagree to kill. Because there's no coming back from killing. Remember that. And being that I mentioned killing, let me give you all a jewel. I feel like riding. I feel like riding. There's a difference. Put it in the comments, y'all. My regular subscribers might have heard me mention this. But there is a difference, right? Between murder and killing. Put it in the comment what you think the difference is between murder and killing. I'm going to come back to that so y'all in the live could go ahead and answer that, right? This is a prime example of when we come from nothing and not realizing that we are now something. This is a prime example of us coming from nothing and realizing that we are something. Because for someone to take the brother Young Dolph's life, they obviously didn't think through the reaction to their actions, and they didn't think that he had the love that he had for his people to wage war on anyone they think had something to do with it. And I'm going to keep it 100. When I was on the street, you know what I mean? Or when you're on the street, because I'm no longer on the street, but when you're on the street, that's the way it goes. If somebody do something to your comrade, it's an eye for an eye, a bullet for a bullet. But know who deserved to lose an eye and who deserved to lose a bullet. Don't get caught up in the conspiracy theories and make the wrong choices and then got to sit back like in the movie Power, where now you got Lou can't sleep and, can't stop drinking because it's haunting him. What's his name? Scrap, the dude in the show that they wound up killing because they thought he was a rat, that he wasn't a rat. And then his sister sends him to kill his mother when he was already dealing with the trauma of losing his man that he raised that wasn't a rat. But the mother heard, Omar Epps tell her that, I seen him talking to the people, I've seen him talking to the people. Okay, so now he's telling. And now he tells you. Now, the cop brings it to a street person. I see somebody telling to the street person going to do what has to be done. And that's why I say don't get involved in the street, because that's what has to be done. That way you don't have to make these choices or put yourself in these situations for this. Man, my heart goes out to Memphis, man. And everyone that lost somebody. Because we need to really come together, man. And this video is just to give jewels so y'all understand what I'm saying and where I'm coming from. The funeral is like a war zone. To bury a man in America, you have to go through snipers, metal detectors, armed guards, armed FBI agents, helicopter snipers. I mean, come on, man. What are we doing as a people? As a people. How did we get here is what I want to know. Somebody put it in the comments. I've been gone from 93 to 2020. So I missed 26 years of how it goes from unity to murder. Because that's what seems to be. Listen, I've seen more funerals and candle burning offerings than I've seen block parties. When I was out here in 93, it was more block parties than anything. You could walk from 125th Street to 155th Street and there'll be 8 block parties in between. Now you walk from 125th Street in Harlem down to 155th Street in Harlem and you see 15 or 20 shrines with candles from where people lost their lives. We went from a partying people to a murderous people. Come on, people, what are we doing? Don't forget to subscribe, man, because these are the type of jewels that we give. Don't forget to subscribe. Please don't forget to subscribe and share this video, man, because the youth and the elders need to see this video. This is a trying time. I mean, right now, Gotti has the weight, right? He got the weight of his brother, right, on his shoulders. He have the weight of his record label on his shoulders. He got the weight of his family on his shoulders. He got the weight of his comrades and friends on his shoulder, which he's always had, but he also always had Jook next to him to help balance that weight out. Now you take that out the equation and you have to do this all alone. That's like when I came out of prison. That's like when I came out of prison and my brother's no longer here. 1987, I came out of prison. My oldest brother was locked up upstate. He was in Sing Sing. My oldest brother raised me from I was 8, 9 years old, you know, into the herb gates game, into the weed game, as y'all call it now. And then I go to jail, and when I come out of jail, he got 8.5 to 23. So now I got to survive 8.5 years on my own without my brother, which I've always had my brother. So I had to tighten up and take everything that my brother gave me and put that to the next level. I put it to negative, became a kingpin, but you know what I mean? That was that time in my life. And then I go to jail from, like I said, 1993 to 2020. When I come home in 2020, my brother got killed in, I think, December 1st, 1994. And I got sentenced September 13th, 1994. So I had to deal with the demons of this visual that I seen of my brother with his brains blown out and know that he's no longer there. But the thought never crossed my mind that I didn't want to live anymore. The thought did cross my mind, you know, that I wanted blood, a whole lot of blood, that I wanted other people's lives, a whole lot of other people's lives. But once I got in that riot in Lewisburg and, you know, allegedly the police started a riot and turned the industrial fan into a Tommy gun, and, you know, none of that is to brag. I'm just saying, you know, all that was a part of my learning lesson, because after all that, they sent my black ass to ADX. They whooped me, knocked out my 4 front teeth, beat me, broke my ribs, swole my nutsack up this big, and left me handcuffed and shackled for 18 hours on the floor in Lewisburg. And I laid there on that floor talking to my brother because the pain was so unbearable. I'm handcuffed and shackled. Picture this, y'all. I'm handcuffed and shackled on my back while I'm handcuffed behind my back. My hands and wrists and fingers and toes and everything was numb. And this was October in Pennsylvania when it's cold out. And they left me down there for 18 hours, came back every 30 minutes to see if I was alive. And every time they saw I was alive, they beat me with a billy club. There was one cop I'll never forget. He had an axe handle for a billy club. An axe handle for a billy club. He held my head down on the ground with his big, nasty boots and took that axe handle and banged out my 4 front teeth because I had diamonds and gold in it that said, "You, God." And I just lost my brother. I just got sentenced to life plus 20. I'm in one of the roughest penitentiaries in the United States. But I didn't question God. I didn't question God. At the time where my mentality was at, to keep it 100, give you to my frame of mind, all I thought was, man, you know, this is what you signed up for, nigga. All the millions you got, all them cars you drove and jewels and women and traveling and all that you did. This is the flip side. You took that like a man. Now take the reaction to your actions like a man. And that's when I closed my eyes and I prayed for my brother's spirit to come down and give me strength, man. I prayed and I prayed and I'm talking about, I didn't pray on the street. I was a 5%er. I self Lord and Master, believe that I'm God. But I prayed that night, which is a form of meditation for my brother's spirit to come down and touch me and ease the pain that I was feeling within my wrists, my mouth, my genitals, my ribs. 18 hours, man, not 8 hours, not 8 minutes. They left me, and everything I'm saying is documented. They left me down there for 18 hours to die. But my brother said, "Nigga, what is you doing? You already knew what they was gonna do when they get you. You thought they was gonna treat you like a king? You know? No, they treat you like a peasant. Tighten up, soldier." That's what my brother told me. His spirit told me, tighten up. And these are the same conversations that God is gonna wind up having with Jook's spirit. Jook is gonna tell him, tighten up, soldier. Just like Young Dolph's people, the ones that's really loyal to him. Because before they make a move, they say this was for you. And he hears it. Gotti, before you make a move, remember, your brother's gonna hear it. And your brother's plan for you was, just like Young Dolph's plan was, to get his people out the hood and give them a better life. You go to jail, you can't help no one, Gotti. You get killed, you can't help no one. You was left here for a reason like I was left here for a reason. Come on, man, we gotta tighten up. I've been on here long enough. Make sure you subscribe. Cop the book of Rowan Harler, man. Make sure you subscribe, man. Subscribe, and share this video, man. I've been on here long enough. I got the podcast over at Spotify. I got the Roku TV. I got a few things that I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do it the right way, like Young Gotti. I'm learning from Young Gotti and Young Dolph. I come home and these young men done took the game to another level legally. But there was no one to teach them to leave that behind. But I'm here now. And remember, we got the merchandise at the bottom of the YouTube channel, the Shut the F Up shirts and all that, man. Just so you understand. But I thank y'all for listening, man. Share this video. If you don't do nothing else, share this video, man. All right? Share this video. Follow me at Instagram and TikTok, Twitter, everything on the Unique Mecca Audio. And my Cash App is right there, Unique Mecca Hall. No number 1 in my last name. Make sure you hit the logo, and says it was created in 2020. All right. Let's go.
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.
What?
Fresh out the
can of 26. He back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. An Instagram page and a YouTube you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, Mecca audio. Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was whining. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spend a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a raw in Uptown. They be horn Uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend an ear. He started in Uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community yours. So we can give back to the youth them. Cause they the truth them. And bless up to all the root men.